Hey, Zidoragi here, commissioning a video review. And today, I'll be taking a look at Leader Class Optimus Prime from Generations War for Cybertron Earthrise. Here you can see him in his truck mode with his relatively long trailer. His colors are... Oh, before our colors, I'll probably show you. Size compared to a soda can. Definitely not what I would consider leader class. His colors are, well, the Prime colors. The truck itself is red, blue, gray, silver, white, and a little bit of black. And the trailer is gray, light blue, red, a little bit of black, and a little bit of silver. View from above and below. And of course it can roll on its wheels. I mean, it's a truck. And you get a little bit of pivot on the hitch. And of course the door can open, just folds down like that. And there's a momentary look at the interior. As far as what can go in here, it's really just either MicroMasters, which I don't have any of, or the Legends, or the Legends class figures like Blackjack and Metroplex's little guy, whose name I suddenly can't remember. But they're what fit best in there. Anyway, it just holds with these two tabs, so you kind of have to split the trailer a little bit. Now, of course, the trailer can't separate from Prime himself. Just attaches with this post that goes into that port right there. We'll take a look at the trailer on its own first, and look at Prime later. Give you a look at the bottom of the trailer on its own. It does have these little stands you can flip out, so it can stand on its own without Prime. At least on my copy, they actually came backwards, because there are these little tabs that go into these slots right here. And the slots on this side weren't quite... There's not quite deep enough for it to sit flush. So I had to pull it out and flip it around. Now it does sort of have its base mode of sorts. Just flip down the struts. Pull down the gate, I guess. And then just split the trailer in half. It will actually snap in place. And there you have it in its base mode. Its base modes are pretty much the same as before in terms of color. It's got dark gray, light gray, and a little bit of black and silver due to the wheels and everything. There are a bunch of ports for storing weapons and things like that, as well as a post here, which, if I had to guess, is going to probably be for the roller that comes out. I think this year or next year, I'm not sure. But it does have this little drone. Just pull it up and it extends on that neck. And it can go, you know, back and forth, up and down. It can pivot all the way around. And it does have these little arms on ball joints. They can just move in and out and all the way around, and that's about it. There is another hinge here, so you can move that back if you want. So you can actually get this really far up in the air if you want it to be. You can also take it off of these two posts and have it sit separately, but what it does in this configuration is more relevant for Prime's robot mode, so I'll show you that later. Go ahead and plug that back on. You also have the repair bay mode. Just stand it up. You have this flipped up like that. Bring it over on that arm. And you can have it repairing whatever robot's standing there. Of course, the issue is this hinge is not strong enough. But the idea is there. And then you can just fold all that back up. Clamshell all that. And there you have his trailer back. Let's get that out of the way. And we'll look at Prime himself. Well, better look up here since you couldn't see because of the trailer. So he turns into a cab-over-engine, flat-nosed truck. What a shock. There's pretty much not much else to say besides to get down to the transformation. So to start things off, just take off this bit here. That'll become his gun in robot mode. Take the fuel tanks and flip them in. They actually do tab in. And you've got a lot of panels to undo. One with the front wheel, one behind the headlights, and one behind the windows. Same thing on the other side, wheel, headlights, windows. Just flip all that open. And then take the back of the truck and swing it down, split the legs, flip out the toe and the heel. Get the lower part done. Go ahead and take the arms and just bring them out to the side. And just get them out of the way. Go ahead and take the entire upper body and swing it around and bring all of this up just like that. Bring the entire upper body out. Flip this panel in. Flip these panels in. Then before you can get that done all the way, you have to bring his head out. So just open up that panel, flip the head out and around, and there is a tab here that will go back into that slot there. And you want to have this out first because otherwise this won't fold up properly. So take the part with the grill, detach it, it'll sit right there. Bring this back down. It kind of locks in, but not really. And then take this part, and these two tabs will go on, or these two slots will go onto those two tabs there. Flip out the portions to fill out his back. Flip up the bumper. Fold the wheels in, and these tabs will go into those slots right there. Open up these panels and flip out his hands. Straighten his arms out. Open up. And flip that out. This hand always gives me a little trouble. And there you have Earthrise Prime in his robot mode. Here's his size compared to a soda can. Definitely not the Voyager size. I mean, definitely not the leader class size. But I'll talk about that later. Just get that out of the way. As far as colors, it's the Optimus Prime colors. Red, silver, blue, translucent blue, white, black, and a little bit of dark gray. Wheel the legs. view from above and below. Now, one thing to note is this is not the original Earthrise Prime head. This is the head from my Siege Prime, because even though it has a darker color blue with metallic blue on the back, this little bit of silver around the eyes just makes this head look so much better than the original Earthrise head. So they're exactly the same mold, they're just painted a little bit differently, so I just swapped them around. Unfortunately, as you can see, I was a little rough in doing so, but not a big deal in my estimation. But moving on, we have his posability, and it's pretty good. Really good, actually. His head is on a ball joint. Can go all the way around. You can go up that far, down that far, and tilt side to side. Arms can go out to the side that far. They can go all the way around. They can actually move back and forth a little bit with a bit of a butterfly joint. A swivel just below the shoulder. They can bend about 90 degrees at the elbow. A pivot at the wrist. And his 4 fingers can open, which is quite a surprise. He does have a waist swivel, but due to the back kibble, it's a bit restrictive, but it's there. Legs can go forward that far, back that far, out to the side, well, a little over full split. You have a swivel just below the hip. Legs can bend well over 90 degrees, almost a full bend. And no side to side at the knee, but you do get a decent knee at the ankle, but you do get a decent ankle pivot. And if you want, the heel and toe can move because of the transformation. So his articulation is okay. It's, nothing insane, but it's pretty good. Now, one thing to note is that his lower legs are the exact same mold as the one that as the legs from Siege, but they have some extra parts to stop you from, turning the legs around at the knee or flipping the wheels out. But besides that, they are the same parts. As far as accessories, he has his gun, which stores on his back in the vehicle mode. Just unfold it. And you have his ion blaster. You can just stick it into the port in his hand. And you can hold that well enough. Seems a little stubby, but it's nothing too extreme, I suppose. And of course, if you want, you can just fold it back up and store it on his back. But there's actually something special you're supposed to do with his back. Just go ahead and put his rifle back there. What you're supposed to do with his back is, with the trailer, you can, like I showed earlier, remove the repair drone. Let's go ahead and throw this off to the side for the moment. And with this post it has, you can stick it to the port in his back, and you can give him something equating a jetpack. So you can turn it like that, and you've got these pointing down to act as the jetpack, or you can point this up and have the drone stick over his head, which I think is pretty neat. Go ahead and take that off. Stand up, Prime. You can also remove the center portion of the trailer door, and this can act as a shield. There's just a post right here. They'll go into the port in his arm. And it doesn't look the best as a shield, but it looks okay. Personally, like I said, I prefer the shield that comes with Siege Prime because it can also turn into an axe, but this one, for what it is just fine. And like I mentioned, you can have him in this as a repair bay of sorts. The last accessory to mention on him is the matrix, because yes, unlike the Siege one, this actually comes with a matrix. Just grab the sides of the windows, and they will flip open. And there you have the matrix in there. It's not in there very hard, very firmly, just tilt him and it'll fall out. And you have this itty bitty matrix. For what it is fairly detailed. It is made completely of translucent plastic, just painted over with some gold and silver. So you do get a bit of a glowing effect depending on the conditions. And of course, it does have a 5mm port on the backside, so for example, you can, mount it to things. Or you can put some of the Siege effect parts on there, which I don't have any. You can also put one in the hole in his chest, but I don't have any effect parts, so I'll just be sticking that in there. You can get him to hold the matrix, but it is very finicky, and it doesn't quite look right. Now, let's go ahead and get this set up right, because I have a bone to pick. This toy is listed as a leader class. He is sold as a leader class at $50, the leader class price point. He is not a leader class. He is a Voyager class with a bunch of extra crap. Namely the trailer and the repair drone. Which, I mean, Voyager is, I think, like $30. I'd be willing to pay like $35 or $40 for what they used to call Ultra Class, or something along those lines. But this is not a leader class. It is a Voyager class. Voyager class hotspot. I know I rarely, if ever, do toy-to-toy comparisons, but I'm making a point here. Leader class, Voyager class. He is actually shorter than the Voyager class figure. Leader class, Jetfire. This toy is not a leader class figure. A leader class is 9 inches tall. That's how tall Combiner Wars Megatron was. Combiner Wars Jetfire, Titan's Return Overlord. Pretty much going back, I think almost all the way to Beast Wars. A leader class figure is a figure that is 9 inches tall. A 7-inch tall figure is a Voyager. This is a Voyager with extra crap. And this stuff is what's allowing Hasbro to sell it at $50. Now, I got lucky. I was able to purchase it for, what I consider to be fair. It's about $30. Which I have no problem paying. The fact that this thing is sold at $50, it's just unacceptable. This is not a $50 figure. I'm not sure what Hasbro's doing selling this at $50 and with all these ludicrous 2-packs that they're doing for everything. I mean, the 2-pack for Thundercracker and Skywarp, that made sense since they were part of a set. It was still a dick move, but it made some sense. But a 2-pack of Prowl and Ironhide? What? I'm not sure what Hasbro is thinking. I mean, they gave us, sort of what we wanted with enhanced detail, enhanced articulation, better plastic. And if the prices went up a little bit because of that, that's fine. But then on top of that, they also axed the actual leader class size in favor of Voyagers with power armor or trailers or what have you, and then replaced it with the Commander class, which are what we would used to call Supreme class. Just need to get on my soapbox about this issue. Anyway, that's been my review of Voyager class, Optimus Prime from Generations War for Cybertron Earthrise. Bye-bye.